Market Investment King's Royal Trade Empire.
Great men are ordinary men, but with extraordinary determination. Nobody should ever tell you what you can or can't do.
As we celebrate our 1-year anniversary of public launch, we want to appreciate all those who have been part of our journey of incredible growth and expansion.
There is no mountain too high to climb. There is no place too difficult to reach to.
To our 100 plus clients in our public pool. To dozens of private clients going strong for 5 years plus. To our 16K plus followers on Instagram. And to our community everywhere, and to every supporter out there. Thank you. In 2025, we're still building people, building wealth, building trust, and building futures. With more than $42,000 in payouts, we are glad to let you know that the best is yet to come.
All you need is care and confidence. You need knowledge and patience. You need skill and the ability to manage your risk. Right now in the world, we're given the highest return on a liquidity pool, which is 10% per month, per every 30 days, which will equate to 100% of your investment in 10 months and 120% in a year. Now, even the average bank right now gives 5 to 6% a year per annum to their average investor, tied in a current account or tied up as an investment. Value is the only thing, I'll say this again, value is the only thing that attracts wealth. Are we following? Value is the only thing. There is nothing else in the world, and I'm going to prove it to you right now. Hello guys, welcome back to our official YouTube channel. This is Market Investment Kings, and I'm your favorite CEO, Caleb Ukonha. Now, over the past couple of months, we've been having a lot of questions regarding our liquidity pool launch in the month of March. So in this video, we're going to clear up every question, we're going to clear up every concerns, we're going to clear up every inquiry and make it as clear as possible for everyone to completely understand the concept of the liquidity pools as an investment vehicle. Now, if you've ever wondered really, as an average investor or someone interested in making investments, exactly how you can get involved in investments, exactly how you can make profits without having a complete knowledge about trading or investment, then you've come to the right place. I'm going to make everything so clear that even the average person is going to be able to follow along in exactly what a liquidity pool truly is. Now, we're going to use an analogy to explain this, and I want us to keep and pay explicit attention to every detail. Now, if you have a basket, and in this basket is contained a fruit, and for this analogy, we're going to be using an orange, and in this basket is an orange, and the owner of this basket has an ability, an innate ability, a coherent ability to multiply these oranges. For this example, we're going to be using a multiplication factor of 4, and he can multiply these oranges into 4 places. Now, if he multiplies this one orange into 4 places, he's going to have a total of 5 oranges. If he does the same thing with 2 oranges, he's going to have a total of 10 oranges, right? Now, what is important to note is no matter the amount of oranges, he can do the same thing because he has the ability. This is important in this analogy. Now, this individual could choose to go to his family, his friends, his colleagues, his partners, even those around him, and acquire more oranges. And then tell these people, if you can give me your oranges, I can give you more oranges than you gave me. I can give you even more oranges than you even loaned to me. Now, what happens is, whatever amount of oranges this is friends, colleagues, family put into that basket, it will be multiplied automatically because he has the ability. Remember, he has the ability. Very important. Let's not forget the place of the ability. He has the ability. Now, once he puts those oranges into the basket and then multiplies them, he can then give them a percentage share of those oranges and then keep a percentage share. So in the long run, these people that put in the oranges into the basket, they are profitable. He that also owns the basket and also has the profitability is also profitable. So both parties leave happy and satisfied. Now, this is exactly what a liquidity pool is. A liquidity pool is a collective basket of funds from investors, different investors around the world from different places, but all having one common goal, which is to make profits. Now, this collective fund is managed by a team of traders, or sometimes the algos, algorithmic trading, in which the accounts are using complex trading strategies, complex technical analysis, sometimes even with computers, sometimes even with quantitative analysis, sometimes even with the algos, or even physical people trading on the desk. So there are several ways this pool of liquidity can be managed, but also it can also be diversified into the stock market, into the financial market, into the forex market, into cryptocurrencies, into bonds, into ETFs, into CFDs. There are several asset classes in which funds can be diversified just to achieve one goal, which is to produce more profit for the investors, because the pool is made up of a collective fund. Are we tracking here? So it's important to understand that this is how a liquidity pool is established. And remember, there are already pre-existing bodies and firms that are operating on the same model of the liquidity pool. One of these firms are the banks, the investment firms, the proprietary firms, the investment banks, the hedge funds. These firms are currently already operating on the concept of the liquidity pool because they gather a collective fund from different investors. But now, what makes a liquidity pool in and of itself as the most powerful vehicle in the world, especially being provided through the channel of market investment kings, is because right now in the world we're given the highest return on a liquidity pool, which is 10% per month, per every 30 days, which will equate to 100% of your investment in 10 months and 120% in a year. Now, even the average bank right now gives 5 to 6% a year per annum to their average investor, tied in a current account or tied up as an investment on an interest rate basis. So that is extremely low, and this is because, of course, they have a very high capital mark. Same with the hedge funds as well. They give about 15 to 20% a year on the return on investment, but the capital mark for entry level is always $1 million, and that is very high for the average investor. So the idea the firm Market Investment Kings have brought into the scene of investment is that we want to reduce the capital mark, but at the same time give investors a higher return on a monthly basis, which is 10% per month consistently, thus building passive income for our investors. So in the span of 10 months, you would have completely made 100% of your income and also have your capital still working for you every month, producing 10%. Now, a lot of people have asked me over the years, what truly are the benefits of having your money in a liquidity pool? Well, first and foremost, the most obvious one is you are borrowing the expertise and the professionalism of all the traders and the strategies and the approaches of those that are managing the liquidity pool. You are riding off of their back and using their expertise to make you profits in the market. So you don't have to do any work. You don't have to have any prior knowledge about trading. You don't have to have any expertise. You don't have to be extremely knowledgeable about it. None of this is necessary, because now you are riding off the experience of very professional individuals, very, coded algos, robots, and even quantitative analysis. All this being done by professionals. So that's the first and foremost advantage of joining in to a liquidity pool. The second, of course, which is the benefit of making passive income. Everyone desires passive income. Everyone wants a way to increase their investments, their net worth, their assets. So when you talk about asset classes, we are able to increase your assets by managing them and diversifying into different markets. So that's the third advantage, diversification. A liquidity pool is always diverse. We deal with different markets to make sure that risk is balanced at all times. So these these are the advantages you get to experience as an investor working with liquidity pools. So one of the most important things for you to note is we bring in something new into the scenery. We're not just any hedge fund or any management firm or any mutual fund, but we are making a difference by giving people a low capital entry minimum. Right now it sits at about $200. We've even began the launch with $50 to $100, just so that the average person can invest into the market and see a return on a consistent basis, because investment has been made so complicated and so difficult for the average person. And before you get invested, you need to download certain applications, you need to study certain books, you need to read certain things, and all this is fine and good. But what about if you don't have the time to do this? What about if you have a full-time job? What about if you have a family? What about if you have kids to take care of? So there are certain things in life that could prevent one from going deep into having investment work for you. Hence the invention of liquidity pool. So we making the minimum so low has allowed entry level to even be available for even the average person. So with this, I'm sure I have cleared a lot of doubts, a lot of questions, a lot of inquiries about the nature of a liquidity pool, because it remains one of the standard, most consistent, largest, and most fruitful ventures and investment vehicles for the average investor and also for the large investors. So with that, it's been a pleasure being with you. And for those that are joining us, always feel free to subscribe to our channel to stay updated with any latest updates coming from Market Investment Kings. Our aim is always building excellence, building people, building trust, building wealth, and building futures. It's been a pleasure, and see you on the next one. Cheers. Value is the only thing, I'll say this again, value is the only thing that attracts wealth. Are we following? Value is the only thing. There is nothing else in the world, and I'm going to prove it to you right now.